Howdy ho, neighbor. Welcome to Your Best Life Now. I am your host, Dan D. Lewis, and I'm going to be your personal coach and help you be all you can be. You know, being a PE coach 2 years running at Tisdale Community College, I know just how tough life can be. I know what it's like to be questioned by the higher-ups and the administration as they look at you with your personal lack of hygiene and your improper use of the badminton equipment. And that right there, Cupcakes, gets my defenses up. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Defense. And the best defense is the armor of God. Oh, yes, the armor of God, my friends. Speaking of defense, we're going to be comparing football equipment to the armor of God. I have enlisted a young Michael Seaver wannabe, and by the end of the day, he will be feeling some growing pains. Come on out, son.
Ready to go, Coach Dandy.
Whoa, don't ever call me that again.
Oh, okay, Coach Baldy.
Hey! Don't make me angry. You would not like me when I'm angry. That's the Incredible Hulk. Bill Bixby, not that Edward Norton guy. Blah.
Okay.
Tell him your name, Cupcake.
My name's Stevie Stevenson. I'm a 7th grader at George Washington Middle School. Go Choppers!
No, it's not chompers, it's choppers, like George Washington chopped down the cherry tree.
No, it's Chompers. It's referring to his wooden false teeth.
You are a weird one, Cupcake. Here's the deal. I've got a young Screech-like figure here, and behind me I have a case filled with cinder blocks that weighs roughly 330 pounds. That is the same weight as an NFL lineman or a rerun from What's Happening.
Hey, Raj.
Stevie is going to take a hit from this case just to show you how this football equipment works. Assume the position, Danielson.
What's a Danielson?
So how'd that feel, Doogie Howser?
Not so bad. It seems like the padding took most of the hit.
Just you wait, Henry Higgins. This is going to be rough. Now, to give you a better understanding of the armor of God, Ephesians 6 says this, that our feet must be covered with the gospel of peace, much like these cleats down here, these modern-day cleats. So, my young Stevie Wonder, take off those cleats.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I have an unidentified foot fungus, and my mom says that...
Well, I am not paying you to think. Take off the cleats!
I'm getting paid for this? Aye, Capitan.
Sorry, everyone. Just had a MASH flashback. Sorry. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. How are we doing, Mr. Belvedere?
I think I got some carpet burn on my big toe.
That's what I'm talking about. No pain, no gain.
But I'm allergic to pain.
Well, then you better take an antihistamine, Topanga. You see, friends, the Bible also says about the armor of God that we must be girded with the belt of truth.
I think it's girded. My pastor pronounces it girded, but then again, he makes up his sermons every Sunday morning on the spot, so what does he know?
Well, tomato. Either way, you're going to have to lose those football pants.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Lose the capris, Curly Sue.
It hurts when you call me a girl's name.
I don't care what it hurts. I need you to take off the football pants and get off the island, Marianne.
I'd rather be Ginger.
How we doing, Cupcake?
My bum is bummed out. Pardon my French. Stop it.
You're fine. No apology necessary. Now, my friends, this is where my little analogy about the armor of God kind of breaks down, because in Ephesians 6, it talks about the sword of the Spirit and the shield of faith. And in football, we don't have swords and we don't have shields.
How about this one?
Holy dance fever. Whoa. What kind of gym is this? Now, hold on. Okay, this is becoming a full house. Now, Michelle, put that sword down before someone gets hurt.
I thought that was the point.
All right, Tootie, I'm about to teach you the facts of life and teach you the point. My hands are bleeding. Where were we? All right, yes. Ephesians 6, it talks about the breastplate of righteousness. And we're going to compare that to these shoulder pads. Why don't you just take those off?
Yeah, I owe you that much. Oh, my spleen! Oh, I'm tasting blood. Other than that, I think I'm okay. How do I look, Dan?
You look good. You look good. Last but not least in the armor of God is the helmet of salvation. Helmets are important? Well, because heads are important. To show what life would be like without salvation, Stevie, take off the helmet.
No.
Yes?
Listen, your coaching shorts are too tight. If you think I'm gonna take a blow to the head without the helmet on.
Just take one for the team, Stevie.
Oh, speaking of taking one for the team's gonna be awfully ticked when they see what you did to their helmet.
What did I do to the helmet? I cannot afford another helmet. What's wrong with this helmet?
I told you, this was a bad idea.
I can't see nothing wrong with this helmet.
Let me help you. That's the one.
Life can bring us storms. Those moments where we wander, wonder, doubt. The journey doesn't stop, but the progress does. It can be lonely, painful. Sometimes we try to stare it down, as if we could somehow will it to go away. Or we think we can go toe-to-toe and come out the other side, unscathed. We often forget just how small we are. The truth is, storms are inevitable. But when they appear, we have a protector, a savior who knows a thing or two about calming storms. A God who is a stronghold in times of trouble. In our weakness, He is strong. In our fear, He is courage. In our desperation, He is peace. Yes, storms are inevitable. But our God is invincible.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. It's finally nice to be outside and to enjoy, well, the sun's not really out right now, but it's nice to get outside. So hopefully the wind's not picking up too much on this and disrupting you from hearing me. Tonight, I actually changed directions from what I was going to teach on. I literally had a message prepared for the last 2 weeks, and last night I was looking at something for next week and decided to go with that instead. And I think it's something valuable that we can learn from. It's going to come out of Hosea. A little bit of context about Hosea. This guy was a prophet of the Lord, and kind of like Ezekiel, he had a really unique ministry. The guy was married to a prostitute or a harlot, and that was symbolic for his ministry. He was married to, I believe her name was Gomer, not a very nice name to have, but her unfaithfulness and faithfulness to him represented Israel's faithfulness and unfaithfulness to God. So some of the things, if you want a really good chapter to read, go to Hosea chapter 2 and read all of it. It's really God talking to Israel or talking to us about how He takes care of us. And I want to look at Hosea chapter 2 verses 14 and 15. And so I'm going to read it. Then I'm going to break it down to you guys what it's saying in context, and then I'm going to break it down and explain what we really are being told from it and how it relates to us. So Hosea 2, chapter 14 and 15 says, "Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. And there I will give her her vineyards and make the valley of Achor a door of hope." So first of all, God's sending Israel, or sending her, into a wilderness. A wilderness is a trial, a hardship. If you think about it, it's like a woods in Minnesota. There's not houses there. There's not shelter there. There's not much food there that we usually eat or is easy to get. So a wilderness can be a forest, it can be a mountainous terrain, it can be a desert, it can be a valley. God's leading her into this hardship. Kind of like the Israelites going through the wilderness from Egypt to the Promised Land. They were there for a long time. It was a place to teach them. And then it says, while she's there, he is going to speak tenderly to her. So this is God saying, while you're in that, or while she's there, I'm going to encourage her. I'm going to speak to her as a lover. I'm going to help her or help Israel through this. I'm there. I'm going to encourage and keep you going. Next it says, and I'm going to give her vineyards. A vineyard is like provision. It's a job. A person who owns a vineyard has an income. They have a livelihood. And so it's God saying, while you're there, I'm providing for you. And then last it says, in the valley of Achor, a door of hope. That word Achor, A-C-H-O-R, means trouble. So in the valley of trouble, there's going to be a door of hope. So to sum this up, God's literally saying to Israel, I'm going to take you into a wilderness. I'm going to encourage you, and I'm going to teach you there. And then while you're there, I'm going to give you provision. I'm going to take care of you and make sure you're provided for. And I'm going to give you hope in that time. So how does this apply to us? Well, a wilderness, you guys are going to run into times in your life where you're going to have wilderness, hardships, times of stress, times where things don't make sense. Right now, with the quarantine, the shelter in place, all of that, that's like a wilderness. It's a time where things are upside down. Things are not normal. They're not comfortable. And in a sense, God has led us to this. Even if it wasn't what we wanted or we don't think God wanted, it's where we're at. He's leading us through it. We're in that wilderness. And it says here that he's going to speak tenderly. It means God's going to encourage us. He's going to give us words of encouragement. He's going to be there whispering to us and helping us through it. So that would be like Pastor's message. Maybe it said something in there that helped you through this week. It's you are going through a hardship and you hear a song on the radio that relates right to it. When I was in high school, my senior year, I went through a difficult time for a few months. And I remember praying the one day saying, God, I don't understand why you did this. Why would you allow this in my life? And the radio started a song. I kid you not, the lyrics to the song are, I do not understand what God has willed, what God has planned. That was the beginning of the song. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It was like, oh my goodness, no, I don't. But God's there. And so that's the encouragement, is God's going to speak into us even in these hardships saying, you're okay. I'm with you. I didn't lead you out here and abandon you. It's not like, if any of you guys like anime, it's not like Piccolo and Gohan from Dragon Ball Z where he just puts them on an island alone and says, figure out how to survive. It's a corny example, but God doesn't do that to us. He doesn't just send us off alone. He says, we're going to go through this, and I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to encourage you. Now, what's interesting is the first part of this, so verse 14, the wilderness and speaking to us tenderly, they're together for a reason, in my opinion. They relate. So I'm going to use an example or an allegory for this, all right? I want you guys to imagine that you're getting ready to go to the Boundary Waters for a week, and you're packing your Duluth pack with all the gear you need. Would you put in there a bunch of books to read? No. They would be bulky, they'd be heavy, and they would add no value while you're camping up there. You might put one book so you have something to read in the evening, but you're not going to carry a bunch around with you. Would you carry with your weight training equipment, all your extra dumbbells and stuff, so you can work out while you're in the Boundary Waters? No. They're bulky, they're heavy, they're a waste of space. You're not probably going to work out when you're there. You're camping, you're canoeing, you're fishing. Would you take with makeup into the Boundary Waters? Probably not. You're going to be in the dirt. So the wilderness is like that. It's removing all those things that we get distracted by, all of our hobbies, our interests, our passions, those things that take us away from God. The wilderness is like him saying, I'm going to remove this so you can hear me. So rather than you're sitting at home and you're going, oh, I want to read this really good book, or oh, I want to watch this great movie, all them distractions are gone and you're going, I should pray. What is God telling me now? When you remove distractions, it's easier to hear God. It's easier to hear what he's saying because you're not distracted. And so even in this time, you look at, a lot of our distractions are gone. You can't go to the bowling alley. You can't go and play laser tag. You can't go play your sports. You can't really hang out with a lot of people. All the distractions we know and enjoy were removed. It's an opportunity where we can really listen and hear what God's saying. So going on, then it says, and there I will give her her vineyard. I'll give you provision. I'll take care of you in this time. It's hard for us when we're going through hardships to think that way, like, was God really going to protect me when this is happening? Is he really there? And yet he is. So I want to share with you guys an example from one of my friends' life, which they're going through right now. To me, it's amazing to listen to. My friend got furloughed about 4 weeks ago. And the week he found out, he called me and told me, hey, I'm getting furloughed. And we talked for a little bit. I said, well, what are you going to do? Are you okay? Do you need help? He goes, we're going to go home to my parents and I'm going to help farm. And we can make a little bit of income there while I'm furloughed. So he had a plan. That Thursday, furlough started from his job. So no income, he's just benefits were paid. He texted me that morning and goes, God is amazing. We just received $700 from people around us who wanted to help us. 4 different people gave them money that equivalated to $700. But it didn't just end there. No, on Monday, that following week, he had a friend call him and say, hey, I'm finishing building my house. Would you be willing to come over and help do the edge work and the doors and put up cabinets? He's worked for this guy now for 2 or 3 weeks straight, just helping out, doing a cash job. So he's got income coming there. They also received money back from the hospital from their birth of their child a few months ago because they paid in too much and insurance covered more. So God's been providing left and right into him and his wife's life, taking care of them. It's awesome to see. It's just like, holy cow, look at all of this money that's coming in. You're not having to worry about bills because you have enough. He told me the other day their bank account is going up, not down. God provides. It's just us trusting and listening in these times, knowing that he's going to take care of us. So it leads to the last part, which says, and make the valley of trouble a door of hope. This is literally God saying, in that hardship, you're going to find hope. You're going to believe it's okay. Hope is what keeps us alive. It keeps us going. When you lose hope, depression sets in. It can actually lead to death. Hope is that silver lining in the storm cloud. It's the knowing that you're going to get through it. In the year 2000, I was in 6th grade. I had to figure this out last night for you. We were going down to Disney World in Florida as a family right before 2000. So it would have been like Christmas break. And as we were driving down there, I remember that there was a storm, basically rain clouds over the land. It was depressing because these clouds are like winter clouds, so they hang lower in the sky. It's really dark, you can't see the sun, and it's just dreary overcast for hours. And I remember as a 6th grader just getting depressed, like, when are we going to see the sun again? And then at some point, you saw the light on the horizon. And you knew, at some point, we're going to leave these clouds. And when we did, how amazing that sunlight was. That was the hope. You seen it in the distance and you knew, we're going to get through this. These clouds are going to end. We'll be okay. For a 6th grader, that was a big deal to me because it was just like, I'm tired of rain. I'm tired of it overcast. I'm tired of this. Can we get where we're going? We've been sitting in a car. And then when we hit that sunlight, it was just so rejuvenating. So what this is really telling us is when you go through a hardship, understand God's with you. He doesn't abandon you. He doesn't forsake you. There's a saying, when he leads you to it, he'll lead you through it. God is with us in all of those. It's in the hardships that we grow, that we learn, that we persevere and long suffer. And in that time, we can hear God. We can learn from him. We can hear his loving voice telling us, you're okay. And we can see him provide for us, and it fills us with hope. So in this time, you guys, I hope you're finding some hope. I hope this helps you. I hope you guys remember this for throughout your life because it's going to apply. I could tell you countless times where I went through a wilderness and seeing these exact things come out of it. Every single time where God provided, He spoke to me, He encouraged me, and gave me hope. And it helps me to continue into the next thing, to grow more. And I'm hoping that it does the same for you. I hope you guys are having a great week. Still praying for you. God bless.